All right, this is going to be vlog 1 on the way to my favorite trail nearby my house. I am currently in the end of week 3 of half marathon training for the Run to Remember in Oklahoma City to remember the Oklahoma City bombing. And this is gonna be my first half marathon. I figured I'd just go ahead and start doing little recording videos on the way to and from my runs, mostly for myself and my own benefit, to just kind of document the process, and that hopefully I can look at later when I start getting to longer runs and races and stuff. It'll just kind of remind me that, oh yeah, this is all a process. You get run down sometimes, and this is nothing new, and this just happens. But anyway, right now we're heading to my favorite little trail for easy day running. It's pretty flat, it's pretty buffed out. There are very few little technical spots. There are offshoots that have very technical stuff that I can do when I want to do more trail training for technical stuff, like getting over roots and rocks and sand and all that jazz, but we're not going to be doing those today. Today on the half marathon training plan, I am scheduled to do 4 miles. I may do my 4 miles, but I might get to the turnaround point, and if I'm feeling really good when I hit the turnaround point, I'm gonna go 1 extra mile and just get my long run out of the way today, and then you do 4 miles tomorrow as a recovery run. If I can get my 6 miler out today, then that helps with the anticipatory anxiety I seem to get before the long run. I hate that it's like the last day in the week. I'd rather just have it done Saturday and not have to worry about it anymore, and then know that, oh good, now the only other run I have in this week is shorter, and I can go super slow and it can be a recovery run. So anyway, that's the plan. That's where I currently am. Today I brought my hydration vest. It has water bottles, it has a couple energy gels, it has some like blueberry biscuits. They're breakfast biscuits. I know that they're not biscuits, they're more like wafer type things, but they say breakfast biscuit on it, so we're gonna just be British today. I've got those, I got energy gels, I've got tissues because it's cold and my nose always runs in the cold. And the only thing that should be running is my legs, not my nose. And then I've got spare water in the car. I've got alternative shoes because I'm trying some new shoes today that I have not worn yet for any sort of run. I am trying out the Nike Wild Horse 7, but I've got my Hoka Speedgoat 4s in the car as backup in case I get like a mile in and realize that the Wild Horse is pushing somewhere funny on my foot, or give me a blister or any of that jazz, or just isn't working for my arches or anything like that. I can turn around and not have to do the whole 4 to 6 miles in them. So that's good, that's the plan. I'm really excited to try out these shoes. I've been waiting to get them for several months. And my initial impression upon just putting them on is that they just fit so nicely. Like, they just feel like they become one with your foot in a lot of ways. I like the fact that they feel pretty squishy underfoot, but not like overly squishy, like they're gonna be unstable. And I also like the amount of outsole rubber on them a lot. I'm hoping that that's going to hold up over time a little better than some of my my Hoka Stinson ATRs have. I mean, they held up pretty good. Like, they made it to over 300 miles before my tread was pretty much dead on the 4-foot section. But I'm kind of hoping that these ones will last longer. I've seen some other reviews and stuff implying that they've taken them to like 300 kilometers and like the tread wasn't even touched, like it looked basically brand new and stuff. So we'll see what happens there. But in the meantime, right now I'm liking how they feel initially. They feel like they've got good toe box room, which is important to me. I'm accustomed to wearing Altras a lot of the time, so I've got big old wide duck feet and they prefer room for my toes to splay. But Anyway, that's pretty much that. We don't have any other interesting gear really, unless anybody spotted my weird hat. This is not a running hat specifically. This is just a hat I got from Home Depot ages ago, that has like special material on the inside so that if you get it wet, it's like cooling and such. And it's just kind of turned into my favorite running hat, even though it's not a running hat. Really served me well in the summer months in Salt Lake City where it gets really hot, but not so humid. So that was always fun. Let's see, we're almost there and I can quit rambling. See, that didn't take much time at all. Ooh, is there any parking today? A lot of people are at the trail today. There is one parking spot. Lucky me. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get started on this run. The plan, just to remind myself, is we're gonna do 4 miles minimum, but if we get to the turnaround and we're feeling good and we're not feeling spent and we didn't take off too fast and we're still feeling like we got good energy, I'm gonna go ahead and go 1 mile further from the turnaround point just to get my 6 miler in today ahead of plan, and that would be great. But a lot of that also depends on how these new shoes are treating me. So we will see. Oh, that's my hydration vest. We're gonna go ahead and get that put on. I think that's all I need. I might put on my gloves temporarily because it is pretty cold, but these will probably get taken off in the first 5 minutes. And that's pretty much that. All right, I'll see you when I get back. Alrighty, so the run is finished. I did end up doing 6 miles because I got 2 miles in and I felt great. So I was practicing my nutrition this time. So I was eating either an energy gel or like a cracker like every mile. These are the shoes I ran in, the Wild Horse 7. Initial thoughts, really good. I still had the same foot problem that I tend to have anytime I get a new pair of shoes. I'm not gonna say that it's the shoe's fault. This just seems to happen anytime I do a longer distance in a newer pair of shoes. I tend to get these really weird, it's like, I would almost want to call it like neuropathy, but I'm sure it's not. I just get this awful toe cramp in my toe box. I've gotten that ever since I was a kid and I was figure skating. I'd get it in my feet and when I was figure skating too. So doesn't seem to do permanent damage. It just hurts while I'm running, and then as soon as I'm not running anymore, it goes away. So but that was still an issue, but that was to be expected. That always happens for me, so nothing too bad. I did have a little bit of heel slippage, but I think that's because I had laced it intentionally a little bit looser. I also was not doing a runner's knot. However, what I do like about these shoes is they do have enough lace to do a runner's knot and then also a surgeon's knot if I wanted to. And take it from somebody who's had hypothermia after a run before, surgeon's knots are great so that you're not fumbling trying to untie your laces when your fingers are literally frozen up to here and you can't so much as pick up your phone. But if you got a surgeon's knot, you can grab it and just pull straight and it'll undo your laces. But it's still a stronger knot than a single knot, and it's not just gonna come undone on you. I really liked the upper on this shoe in particular. I love the lacing system. I already mentioned how I like the length of the laces. They're not too long to where they're in the way and obnoxious, but they are long enough to do stuff. Unlike my Hoka Speed Goats, like they barely have enough lace to do a double knot. I find it kind of annoying actually. I had good sensation under my feet in these shoes. I was surprised by that because it does have like a full rubber outsole and fairly aggressive looking lugs. I want to say they're probably 4 millimeter. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. I think they're 4 millimeter. I know it's an 8 millimeter drop on the shoe. They use the Nike React foam. I'm not sure what kind of outsole rubber they use. I know that in some other reviews, they have said that it's good for dry terrain, and it definitely was good for dry terrain today, and more technical trails, but that it does not handle wet well. So we will have to see firsthand. A lot of other people have complained in their reviews of this shoe. I've noticed that it does not handle wet conditions well, but we will see. I definitely liked it though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was very strange how this is not a light shoe, but it doesn't, like, it's a fairly heavy shoe when you actually weigh it, but I don't know what the actual stats are on it, but I know it's on the heavier side, and it didn't feel heavy to me until I put it on my scale at home just to check it. And I was surprised, but it doesn't feel heavy on your foot. I think it's because it's like really well balanced. I think that's what it is, which somehow it's balanced, even though it has this big old, what looks like a big heel counter. But I don't think the foam actually goes that far up on this. I think it's just, this is just an outside thing for some sort of stability. Speaking of stability, and this may have been because I had my laces a little looser, because I was trying to give my feet a little extra room today in case they swelled, which they did. And then I had my toe problem, which I always have, no matter what shoes I do. Even in the Altras, I'll get that problem. I don't know if it was just because my laces were a little bit looser, but on some of the more like divoted sections of the trail that I hit, I noticed my ankle was bending one way or another a little bit more than on a more stable shoe might do. I suspect that's just because the laces were looser. I really liked the little half gaiter that it had. I found that that was pretty good at keeping any little pebbles or anything out of my shoe. Since I had not gone as far as I went today on this trail in the past, I did not realize that right after the point where I've been stopping on this trail, it becomes a bit more technical. It has a lot more uphill. It has more like tree branches you actually have to like climb over. I tripped on a greenbrier that had grown across the path at one point, so that was fun. But these shoes did a good job of protecting me against that kind of stuff. It also had a really sharp, like gravel section where it was a lot of sharp rocks, and these seem to handle that pretty well. I'm not sure if this has a rock plate. I believe it does have some sort of little rock plate in this shoe, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, I thought it was a good balance between like protection against that and still also being able to feel things underfoot and have a good sense of that. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed running in the shoe. I love how plush the tongue is. The upper just feels very nice on the top of my foot, and I didn't get any blisters. And this was a 6-mile run today, about a 28 minute a mile pace. Really slow run today. I was intentionally going slow so that I was practicing just breathing out of my nose. I was hoping to keep my heart rate under 170, and I did. So that's pretty good for me, because usually even at a really slow pace, I'm at like 175 the entire time, no matter how slow I go. So that was successful today. And my long run's out of the way for the week. Woohoo! So I'm feeling good. That's it for me. That's all I really wanted to mention for today's vlog diary thing, whatever you're gonna call it. And yeah, success. All right, bye.